There we go.
Okay. Hi, this is Jackie Ambro, and I want to welcome you to session 6 of the Weight Loss Hypnosis group for Simple Freedom. And in this session, we are going to be working on still the actual weight loss phase. We are now in week 6, which is the second week of the phase 2, which is the actual weight loss phase. And I still really hear that echo. I don't know if it's getting recorded too or not. I'm guessing it might. Oh, it's gone now. Yay. All right. So we're still making changes on the inside to lose weight from the inside out and happily maintain it. And if you're following along in the slideshow, then you can look at slides 1 and 2, and I'm on 3. In weight loss session 6, we are creating in hypnosis a special place of empowerment and connection and comfort. And I have to correct the dog. Hey, get down. I don't know what you think you're doing, but okay, sorry about that. Life with pets. So on slide 4, this is where we would have our discussion about how your week went. How was it using your hunger scale, and how's your diet and nutrition going? How many steps did you do this week? And how did setting the day go for you? Since we don't have a panel to discuss today, I'd like you to think about those questions, and feel free to contact me with your answers as well if you need help. Slide 5 is another question, which is how are you doing with your anchor and your journaling and your vision board? You should be working towards using those things more and more. Progress is what we're looking for, not perfection. And then slide 6, we are looking at how your week was regarding, did you meet with a personal trainer or someone who is particularly good at physical fitness? If so, how did it go? Did you record your resistance or strength training in that second column on your steps chart? How did that go? Remember always that this is about progress, not perfection. Slide 7. This is where we would discuss what's going on in your life, what good stuff, or whether there's stress, or that's enough, leave it alone. I don't know what you're after, but you need to stop. Sorry, not you, the dog. Her name's Passion. She's a Pomeranian, a big one, 25 pounds, and she is full of herself. Okay, so how are you doing with making time for your own health and happiness? Because that's really what it gets down to, doesn't it? Making time for your own health, your own happiness. So on slide 8, we start to talk about the 6 problem foods. These are things that you want to cut down on or cut out. Sugar, trans fats, fried foods, white bread, regular pasta. And then the last one, they talk about high-fat dairy products. And since I created this slideshow, I've learned a little more about more recent research on that. But let's go on to slide 9. And here we say more about the 6 problem foods. And the very first thing I say is, but wait, there's more. Let's talk about sugar for a minute. Sugar acidifies the body. And when your body is acidic, it is the environment that cancer and viruses and bacteria love. So it is not so good for you to have an acidic pH. The other thing is that sugar also destabilizes your blood sugar, and that's bad for losing weight. It's bad for staying calm. It's bad for staying focused and energized beyond that sugar rush, and ultimately it's bad for dealing with stress. So yes, you should cut down on sugar and things that break down to sugar easily in the body. So save your sugar, if you're going to eat it, for after you eat protein first or a meal, and as an occasional treat. And you should read that as not daily, okay? The next thing is later in this session, I will teach you how to eat a piece of chocolate. Now, you probably already know how to do that your way, but I'd like you to try my way, so stay tuned. Slide 10 stop. She still wants something under my filing card. All right, let's look at slide 10. In this slide, we look at trans fats. And what you need to know about trans fats is they're just bad for you, period. There's nothing redeeming about them. They're actually toxic to your body, and nobody should eat them. Trans fats include all hydrogenated oils or partially hydrogenated oils. It is a man-made thing, and it's used to extend the shelf life of food so that the fats in the food don't go rancid. And whatever extends the shelf life of food generally isn't too good for you, unless you're talking about things like vitamin C, which citric acid does preserve food, and it's not bad for you. So, but trans fats, they're bad. They clog your arteries, they cause inflammation, and that's the prime cause of most chronic diseases. So think of diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, pulmonary disease. All these things are bad, and they are made worse by trans fats. So you want to eliminate them from your diet completely. And so you might wonder where trans fats are. Well, margarine, and if you read labels, anything that says hydrogenated oil or partially hydrogenated oil has trans fats in it. And most fast food has trans fats. So something else to keep in mind. So slide 11. The other thing you want to do is, as far as fried foods go, occasional fried food, when you are well on your way with your weight loss, is not terrible if it's fried in healthy oil. But it's not something you should eat on a daily or even a weekly basis. And once in a while, learn to eat, when you do eat fried food, learn to eat them like chocolate. Stay tuned on how to do that. Slide 12, we're looking at white bread and regular pasta. Really, just get rid of those because they don't have any real nutrition. They just are calories, they're carbs that turn to sugar in your bloodstream. They're high on the glycemic index, which means that they tend to turn to sugar quickly, and so they'll elevate your blood sugar and then have it drop afterwards. So they're mostly empty calories. So think about, though, going gluten-free while you're at it, seriously, because gluten and there's a certain other carbohydrate in wheat, plus this chemical from the Roundup weed killer that's called glyphosate. Those are found in bread and pasta because almost all wheat is grown and harvested with glyphosate. But gluten and this certain carbohydrate in wheat and glyphosate all cause inflammation in the body, and they will not help you in any way, shape, or form. On slide 13, you can see that I'm recommending a book to you called Wheat Belly by cardiologist Dr. Davis. What he found was that inflammation, which is caused by diet, happens everywhere in the body, not just a specific place. And that means in your coronary arteries. And that makes the arteries sticky on the inside, so that cholesterol, which is naturally occurring in your blood, sticks to the walls of your arteries, and that's what causes plaque to form. So that's what blocks your arteries and gives you heart disease. Now, another word about gluten. Gluten is found in wheat, rye, barley, and spelt, and it causes inflammation in the lining of the small intestine. It actually can damage that lining. The little fingers that protrude out from the small intestine, called villi, they are damaged by gluten. And when those when that lining is damaged, it prevents absorption of nutrients. So something else to consider. The next slide is 14, and here's where I tell you almost all wheat in the United States now is genetically modified and or harvested with Monsanto's glyphosate or Roundup Ready or Roundup weed killer. Glyphosate's the technical name for the weed killer. Glyphosate does damage your small intestine and keeps you from absorbing nutrients. It does other things too, but that is one thing you should know about right away. Hi, Rosemary. In addition, there is a carbohydrate in wheat that I mentioned before. It's hard to digest, and it causes additional problems for the small intestine, similar to gluten sensitivity and what glyphosate does. 15 is the next slide. So going gluten-free and organic will allow you to avoid a lot of the problems with glyphosate, gluten, and genetically modified foods. Something to know is that about 80% of processed foods contain genetically modified organisms as ingredients. This includes fast food restaurants, especially, but restaurants generally contain a lot of processed foods, and 80% of that you can count on to be genetically modified. And just avoiding all fast food will help you lose weight if you aren't already. I highly recommend going off fast. Even the salads that are supposed to be healthy, if you actually look at their nutritional content and ingredients, they tend to have higher fat content than they should in their meat, and their you can imagine that these foods that are in fast food, they're going to contain ingredients like chicken and pork and beef that have been fed grains primarily from, of course, genetically modified sources. That gets passed into the animal tissue, and glyphosate actually still gets passed through meat sources. So, all right, slide 16 is about what to do. What is the solution to all, not eating out and to avoiding genetically modified foods and all these problems? Well, first of all, eat whole, organic foods that you prepare at home with minimal processing. You'll get much more nutrition out of that. So learn to cook again. If you don't cook, learn to cook. If you used to cook, cook more now. Now, in the home, fast food can be stir fry, salads, grilling, broiling. These are all quick ways of preparing food. I just saw that Wolfgang Puck, no, is that his name? I think that might be his name. He's a chef, a German chef, I believe, and he and his team have developed a new oven that is a combination of a pressure cooker chamber with an oven. And it will take a 14-pound turkey that you normally would cook in your traditional oven for 3 hours, and you can get it done in 55 minutes. So there are some new cooking things out there that you can look into if time is an issue. They'll take a 5-pound chicken, which you would normally bake for an hour and 45 minutes, or at least an hour and a half, and get it done in 35 minutes. I'm seriously thinking about getting one of those. But even so, almost everybody has a crock pot. So that can be your slow food. But it can be fast because you throw all the ingredients in and turn it on, and you're done. And hours later, dinner or lunch or whatever, breakfast even, is ready. No fuss, hardly any mess. So the other thing about eating at home is it's also cheaper than eating out. And one thing you can do if you're used to eating out for entertainment and taking friends to restaurants and whatever, have them come over. Tell them it's a potluck. And they can cook too. Slide 17. Now we're going to talk about high dairy fats. Now, this course originally said we should avoid high-fat dairy, that we should do everything low-fat or non-fat. But it turns out recent weight loss studies indicate that a moderate-fat, low-carb diet beat out a low-fat, moderate-carb diet. People lost twice as much weight eating a moderate amount of fat and low-carb than people who ate low-fat and moderate carb. In addition, since I did this slideshow, I found that high-fat dairy and non-homogenized, unpasteurized dairy has some health benefits that low-fat, homogenized, pasteurized dairy does not have. We're having a storm here, by the way. You hear the thunder. So it's actually really healthy for you to include high-fat dairy. And if you If you want more information on that, I believe that I sent the article to myself and I could email it to you. It's very interesting. But so I'm saying that you can still include high-fat dairy products in moderation, and you can include some flaxseed oil or other healthy oils to balance out the omega-3 and 6 fatty acids. But as it turns out, whole milk that is unpasteurized, raw, non-homogenized, actually has the perfect balance of omega-3s and 6s. So, where can you get it? Let's see. Oh, the slides that I'm getting ahead of myself. Slide 18 talks about the role of fats. You need good fats, essential fatty acids like omega-3 and omega-6 in your diet for good health. These fats are essential for your brain, healthy hormone production, and nerve and muscle function. So what's important is the balance between omega-3s and omega-6s. And the way Americans tend to eat, and I'm assuming some Canadians eat, is that there's not a good balance between omega-3s and omega-6s. But slide 19 talks about what I mentioned earlier, that a moderate amount of high-fat dairy foods balanced with healthy, good oils like flaxseed oil, olive oil, walnut oil, etc., will help you get the essential fatty acids you need for optimal health. So you don't need to cut out all dairy fat. Just moderate it with healthy oils like flaxseed, olive, avocado, and walnut as examples. Slide 20, we talk a little more about the role of fats. Fats also help you feel satisfied and full, and moderation is key. So it's one way to help you not feel hungry while you're losing weight. So try pairing regular 4% fat cottage cheese, which is regular, not low fat or non-fat, with flaxseed oil for omega-3 and 6 balance. Buy refrigerated flaxseed oil in small bottles because it loses its potency quickly and it goes rancid fast too. 2 to 3 ounces of cottage cheese with 1 tablespoon of flaxseed oil, yummy. Add some salt and pepper. It's a wonderful meal, and you can even use it as a snack if you want. Now we get to the fun part. Slide 21 is where I actually teach you how to eat chocolate my way. All right. And the reason for this is that food is not your enemy, okay? It's meant to be enjoyed and savored and to be satisfying. Then people know this. And so what we're going to do is have you practice enjoying food again, starting with chocolate. And here, go on to slide 2. And when you get a chance, get yourself a piece of chocolate. Darker is better, but find a kind that you really like. Have absolutely no distractions. None. No TV, conversation, no computer or phone, no book to read, nothing, really. No distractions. Okay. Slide 23. Notice then your anticipation as you unwrap the chocolate and prepare to put it in your mouth. Notice the sensations in your mouth. The feel of the wrapper, the color and the texture of that chocolate, and everything about it, the way the light plays on it, what it smells like, every part of it. Then put the chocolate in your mouth and do not chew. Now close your eyes and keep them closed. Let the chocolate, we're on slide 24, let the chocolate melt in your mouth. Do not help it along too fast. Notice all the sensations happening in your mouth. Take as long as you need. And the key is to be fully present. Slide 25. After the chocolate fully melts and you have swallowed the last bit, notice the aftertaste. And then rest with the experience. Slide 20. When you're finally ready, open your eyes and wait for a little while, still resting with the experience. And ask yourself only then if you are fully satisfied. Slide 27. If you are not fully satisfied, Repeat the whole process one more. You will find that you are satisfied with way less chocolate than you have mindlessly eaten in the past. And you enjoyed every moment. Congratulations. You are learning to eat chocolate like a thin person and a foodie. Slide 28. We're going to talk now for a brief moment about the mental bank. This is a program that was developed by the late Dr. John G. Kappas through over 30 years of research with 25,000 clients. It is used to accomplish goals such as losing weight and succeeding in business and all kinds of other goals. And the way it works is that it reprograms the subconscious mind for success, prosperity, and happiness. Slide 29. In the mental bank, you pay yourself for doing the things that will lead you to achieve your goals. You keep a mental bank ledger. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between mental bank dollars and real dollars. And the value events are the things that you pay yourself to do to achieve your goals, and they remind you of what you should do on a daily basis to achieve your dreams. Now, paying ourselves, on slide 30, paying ourselves for doing our value events keeps us on track and moving toward our goals. It's like self-hypnosis before you go to bed each night. In fact, it takes only about 5 minutes a night once you set it up. Setting it up takes about 20 to 45 minutes, depending on how long it takes. That's on average. On slide 31, I tell you to watch the free 2-hour online class at www.mymentalbank.com. You can buy your mental bank ledger at http://www.hypnosis.edu/books/mental-bank-ledger. And if you were here, I can get these in bulk, but you're not here, so you can go online and just buy one copy at a time and have it shipped directly to you. So this free 2-hour online class is part of doing the weight loss hypnosis program. I do want you to spend the 2 hours this week watching that class. Like I said, it won't cost you anything. Slide 32. This is where we're preparing for hypnosis. Your special place is where you can go inside and find empowerment, connection, and comfort. And you're going to use this to find wisdom, clarity, strength, self-love, discovery, and feelings of peace, empowerment, and healing. Slide 33. Your special place can be a place you have been before, or a place you have never been. You might have seen it in a magazine or on TV or somewhere in your imagination. It could be indoors or out in nature. It's a comfortable place where you can go that is peaceful, quiet, serene, and secure. Slide 34. Your special place is where you can be just with yourself. You have nowhere you have to be. There's nothing you have to do. It's just a place to relax and enjoy. Slide 35. Your special place may change over time. You can always choose different places that work for you. Feel free to see what your subconscious mind sends you. Slide 36. You're going to listen to this hypnosis recording of your special place daily until session 7 for best results. And then you can use it afterwards. You can use it, for as far into the future periodically as you want. So enjoy it. After hypnosis, you may wish to journal about your experience. You're keeping a journal, right? It's part of your program. So here's something to write about. Slide 37. Refer, please, to the home play from this session, session 6, and do the activities listed there and look for your invitation to session 7 um, on the Dropbox the night before our next session. And then the last slide again is how to contact me. So um, let's unmute. And Rosemary, how are you? I can see you laughing, but now I can hear you.
I forgot I was muted. I'm good. I have a bit of a sore throat today, but I think that might have to do with the trip that I just took.
Yeah.
I eat salted sunflower seeds in the shell.
Yeah.
When I'm driving long trips, it's how I stay awake. And 9 hours of eating salted sunflowers, I am a little bit salt burned. But
Oh
it
my.
worked. But it worked. I only had an hour and a half sleep, so I was really tired. So I
Yeah, I
needed.
can't. I can't drive on an hour and a half sleep. I'll fall
I
asleep. I
I
have to
didn't know
sleep.
I could either, but I did.
Wow. Well, you're home safe and sound. Thank
I
goodness.
am. I am, and thank you for postponing this class until I could get together and think straight.
Well, things work out for the best, don't they?
Yeah, apparently it worked well for everybody, didn't it?
Yeah. So I think you got on after we talked about how our week was. Do you have any questions about the material that I presented?
Do you know what I did on this trip? I did something I have not done in so many years. I cannot remember even doing it. I ate a whole chocolate bar,
Yeah.
a whole chocolate bar.
Yeah.
I could not believe it. I thought, oh, I gotta tell my friends. I gotta come clean. I did this, and every single bite tasted so good. And when you were describing just now how to eat dark chocolate, I just
Uh-huh.
thought, yep, that's exactly what I did. And it was a big chocolate bar, and I enjoyed every single bite. I don't know if I could do that very often, but it sure was good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you wouldn't want to do it, very often, but uh, enjoying food like a thin person puts you on the road to being thin.
Oh, what a nice way of putting it. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, because the last time I ate a whole chocolate bar, I was really skinny.
Yeah, funny how that works, huh?
Funny how that works. Yeah.
Well, good. Any other thoughts or comments on what we've done today?
Well, I came in late, so I really picked up just the last little bit of it. So no, not other than that. I'm gonna have to listen to the recording.
Okay. Dana, you've got yourself muted out, but have you got anything you'd like to add?
Is she there?
Maybe she fell back asleep.
She put a note in the chat that I'll read to you. She said, "Where do you get that non-homogenized milk?"
Oh, well, we get ours from the Amish. And I know there are a few Amish communities in Canada, because they're in a lot of countries around the world, as it turns out now. But we get ours from a local Amish community from the same family we've been getting our milk from for like 6 years.
It's non-homogenized, non-pasteurized milk. Raw milk is so good for you, but it's
Yeah.
actually illegal to sell in Canada. Now, people do. They sell it as pig food.
Hmm.
They call it pig food,
Yeah.
and you can get it that way but you have to get it straight from the farmer.
Well, it turns out that pasteurization destroys a lot of the health benefits of milk. And there's actually more foodborne illness because of homogenization, pasteurization, mass production
Oh,
than
Jackie, you've unmuted and there's an echo.
When
yeah,
I unmuted, there is an echo. That's why I'm not talking. I don't know what's going on with my camera.
Ah,
Sorry.
that's okay.
I'm just going to mute out.
Did you have anything to say before you mute out, Dana?
No, I really like doing the hunger thing, the hunger scale. I like that.
Good.
Um, I kind of just try to eat when I get that first little growl.
Yeah.
That first little growl, and then try not to, try to stop before I feel that overstuffed feeling.
Yeah, good.
But
After
But
years and years of doing, go ahead.
I can't give up spaghetti. No way. I have it every few weeks, you know.
Hey, we haven't given up spaghetti either. We've just switched to quinoa corn spaghetti or amaranth spaghetti or another gluten-free spaghetti that is higher in protein. And it tastes really good.
Were you able to hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it. Let me
Okay.
mute out.
Okay, thank you.
I always use brown rice pasta, Jackie. What about that?
Well, brown rice pasta is okay. It's probably still better than wheat in some ways, mostly because brown rice has not been genetically modified the way wheat has been. But and with the brown rice, you do have the fiber in it. But I've some health experts say that the brown rice is hard to digest, um, and uh, I still much prefer the quinoa, ancient grains kinds of pastas because they are higher in protein, and brown rice has hardly any protein in it. Um, so because I'm trying to go for more protein and less sugar, the quinoa or um, the amaranth or the other blends of ancient grains are I think healthier. And the quinoa and corn pasta, which I think the brand is Ancient Grains, and you might have different brands up there in Canada. That quinoa and corn one uses non-genetically modified corn, um, and so it's not going to have the glyphosate in it either. And that tastes, of all the gluten-free pastas I've tasted, that one tastes the most like semolina durum wheat pasta. And it certainly makes me feel better. It's as filling, and I don't get the lethargy, the sleepiness after eating it that I used
Oh,
to get with regular pasta
oh, good
because
to know.
it's higher in protein. It stabilizes the blood sugar, and you don't get quite as much of a spike in the blood sugar as you would from other carbs.
Good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, when I want lasagna, the only gluten-free, um, no pre-boil lasagna noodle I've found is a rice noodle. So we just don't have it that often. But the other thing about lasagna is that we're filling it with cheese and meat and spinach and sauce, and so it's pretty high in protein despite the fact that we're using a white rice noodle. And it's it hasn't bothered me as far as being too high in carbs. Any other questions?
No, I think that's all I have. Dana?
I'm good. Just trying to figure out this headset mic issues.
I understand. Well, ladies, we're ready to close out the recorded part of the session. So if you don't have any more questions, then thank you all for joining us on session 6. And we'll be doing just 2 more sessions after this. So we are 3/4 of the way through now. And thanks for sticking in there to complete it. Okay. All
I've
right.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, good. And I do have a request. If you guys could, on Facebook, I know that you can comment in our group for weight loss, but sometime in the next couple of weeks, if you would be willing to write a review on my regular hypnotherapy Facebook page at Hypnosis Does Wonders, all run together, it's all one word. You can search for it just on Facebook as Hypnosis Does Wonders, all one word. And it'll pull up E Pluribus LLC, and you'll see my tiger logo and hypnosisdoeswonders.com and all that. So if you don't mind putting a public statement out there about the services I've been providing to you, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. All right. You all have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll meet next Wednesday night again at 8. And I'm assuming that one of you will be ready to run the hangout that night, right? As try as I might, I can't apparently start them on my phone. You have to set them up first on the computer, and then you can, I guess, use your phone. But my computer doesn't have the plug-in because it's too old. So, yeah. All right. Thank you. Okay. Well, if we want to stop the recording, we'll say bye.